If you are seeing this on the 25th of December, pause for a moment and understand something deeply. You did not arrive here by accident. Life does not move randomly, and existence does not waste energy. Every moment carries intention, even the ones that felt empty, delayed, or painful. When you look back, you may see confusion, struggle, silence, and unanswered questions. But what you could not see then was alignment. What you called waiting was actually preparation. What you called rejection was redirection. What you called loneliness was training in self-reliance. On this day, when many are distracted by celebration and noise, you are being asked to look inward. This is not coincidence. It is timing. You are here because you endured. And endurance is never accidental. It is forged. It is built through nights when you wanted to give up, but did not. Through mornings when your body moved even though your spirit felt heavy. Through moments where no one clapped for you, no one encouraged you, and still you continued. That continuation is the reason you are here. God does not congratulate people for comfort. Comfort does not require strength. Comfort does not build character. Comfort does not reveal who you truly are. God congratulates those who kept walking when the path made no sense. Those who stayed disciplined when motivation disappeared. Those who learned to sit with discomfort instead of running from it. If you are seeing this now, it means you passed through something that could have destroyed you, and you are still standing. That alone speaks louder than any success. Understand this clearly: survival is not small. Endurance is not ordinary. You were tested in ways that were invisible to others. People saw you functioning, but they did not see the internal battle. They did not see the thoughts you had to silence. They did not see the emotions you had to control. They did not see the strength it took to stay calm when everything inside wanted to collapse, yet you did it, quietly, without recognition. And that is why this message reaches you now. Life often removes clarity before it gives purpose. It strips certainty before it builds faith. You may have asked yourself many times, why is this happening to me? Or, what am I doing wrong? But the better question was always, what is this building within me? Because life does not train the unprepared for greater responsibility. It shapes those who are meant to carry more. Pressure is not punishment. Pressure is selection. Every delay you experienced slowed you down so you could develop patience. Every obstacle forced you to strengthen discipline. Every loss detached you from illusions. You were not being pushed away from your path. You were being aligned with it. Sometimes the path forward requires stillness. Sometimes growth happens in silence. Sometimes becoming stronger looks like nothing is happening at all. But inside, something was forming. When you move too fast, you miss the lesson. When life slows you down, it gives you time to mature. You learned how to breathe through uncertainty. You learned how to stand without reassurance. You learned how to trust yourself when external validation disappeared. These are not small skills. These are foundations of inner mastery, and inner mastery is rare. If you had received everything you wanted immediately, you would not have been ready to hold it. If success had arrived early, it would have made you fragile. If answers had come quickly, you would never have learned how to sit with questions. The strength you carry now exists because things did not happen when you wanted them to. Time refined you. Resistance strengthened you. Silence sharpened you. Being here today means you did not let bitterness define you. You did not let frustration turn into surrender. Even when you felt lost, you kept a sense of direction. Even when you doubted, you did not quit. You may not have been confident, but you were consistent. And consistency is more powerful than confidence. Confidence comes and goes. Discipline stays. God sees effort that is unseen by others. The world only recognizes results, but life values process. You were building roots while others were chasing appearances. You were learning restraint while others were seeking attention. You were developing inner stability while others relied on external approval. That kind of growth is slow, but it is unshakable. If you are here, it means your spirit did not collapse under pressure. It bent, but it did not break. And what bends without breaking becomes flexible, adaptable, resilient. You now understand that strength does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers, stay calm, stay focused, stay disciplined, stay present. There were moments when quitting would have been easier. Moments when distraction felt tempting. Moments when numbness felt safer than feeling. But you chose awareness. You chose responsibility. Even when you were tired, you chose to continue. Even when progress was invisible, you trusted that something was happening beneath the surface. That trust is not blind. It is earned through endurance. You are not behind. You were being prepared. You were not forgotten. You were being refined. You were not rejected. You were being redirected. Every step you took, even the wrong ones, taught you something essential. There are no wasted experiences when you are conscious. There are only lessons. On this day, the message is simple but powerful. You are acknowledged. Not for what you have achieved, but for what you survived. Not for what you showed the world, but for what you carried alone. Not for your success, but for your stamina. Stillness now reveals the truth. The truth is that you are stronger than the version of yourself who started this journey. You think more clearly. You react less emotionally. You observe more. You understand yourself better. You no longer rush toward noise. You value depth. You value control. You value peace. That transformation did not happen overnight. It happened through repetition, through choosing discipline again and again, through holding yourself together when nothing outside was holding you. That is why this moment matters. Not because it announces a reward, but because it confirms readiness. If you are seeing this on the 25th of December, let it remind you of who you are becoming. Someone who does not need chaos to feel alive. Someone who does not depend on approval to move forward. Someone who understands that real power is quiet, steady, and rooted. This is not the end of your struggle, but it is proof that you can handle what comes next. And that is why the message says congratulations. Not because the journey was easy, but because you stayed. Not because everything worked out, but because you did not abandon yourself. Not because you were lucky, but because you were disciplined. Stand tall in this understanding. Breathe deeply into this moment. You are not here by chance. You are here because you were strong enough to arrive. What you experienced as pain was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to train you. This is difficult to accept when you are inside the struggle, because pain speaks loudly and wisdom speaks quietly. When something hurts, the mind immediately assumes something is wrong. But growth has never been comfortable. Strength has never been gentle. Life does not build powerful beings through ease, it builds them through resistance. Pain entered your life not as a punishment, but as a teacher. And like all real teachers, it did not ask for permission. It arrived when you felt unprepared. It stayed longer than you wanted. It repeated lessons you thought you had already learned. And still, it served a purpose. Every uncomfortable moment forced you to look inward. Every difficult experience stripped away illusions. Every emotional wound asked you a serious question: will you collapse or will you adapt? Many people confuse pain with failure. They believe that if life hurts, they must be doing something wrong. This belief weakens them, because once you label pain as failure, you stop learning from it. But pain is information. It reveals where you are attached, where you are weak, where you resist change. It shows you what still controls you. And once you see that, you have the opportunity to grow. Think about the moments that challenged you the most. The days when you felt overwhelmed. The nights when sleep avoided you. The times when your chest felt heavy with unspoken thoughts. Those moments were not random attacks. They were invitations to become stronger internally. You were being asked to regulate your emotions, to slow your reactions, to observe instead of explode. Most people try to escape pain as quickly as possible. They distract themselves. They numb themselves. They blame others. They run. But escaping pain only delays growth. You chose a different path, even if you did not realize it at the time. You stayed present. You endured. You learned how to breathe through discomfort. You learned how to function, even when motivation was absent. You learned how to remain calm while everything inside felt unstable. That is training. Pain trained your nervous system to tolerate pressure. It taught you that panic solves nothing. It showed you that reacting emotionally often creates more suffering than the situation itself. Over time, you began to notice something changing. The same problems that once shook you no longer had the same power. The same words that once hurt you deeply started to lose their sting. The same fears that once controlled you became quieter. This is not because life became easier. It is because you became stronger. Pain forced you to slow down and observe your patterns. You began to see how your thoughts created tension, how your expectations created disappointment, how your attachments created suffering. These realizations are uncomfortable, but they are necessary. Without pain, the ego never questions itself. Without struggle, awareness never deepens. Your pain also taught you discipline. When things were going well, discipline was optional. But when life became heavy, discipline became survival. You learned to create structure when chaos surrounded you. You learned to show up even when you felt empty. You learned to do what needed to be done regardless of how you felt. This ability is rare. Most people wait to feel good before they act. You learned to act even when you felt bad. That is power. Pain trained your patience. It forced you to accept that not everything can be fixed immediately, that some answers take time, that some wounds heal slowly. You learned to sit with uncertainty without needing instant resolution. You learned to trust the process even when the outcome was unclear. This patience changed you. It softened impulsiveness. It strengthened resilience. Pain also humbled you. It reminded you that you are human, that you are not in complete control, that life will not always move according to your plans. This humility is not weakness. It is grounding. It brings balance. It teaches you respect for the process. It teaches you to listen instead of force. There were moments when you questioned yourself, moments when doubt crept in, moments when you wondered if you were strong enough. But even doubt served a purpose. It forced you to confront your fears instead of ignoring them. It showed you where confidence was built on illusion rather than experience. And slowly, as you endured, doubt began to lose its grip. Pain sharpened your awareness. You became more sensitive to your inner state. You learned when to push and when to rest. You learned the difference between discomfort that strengthens and exhaustion that damages. You became more intentional with your energy. You stopped wasting it on unnecessary conflicts, meaningless validation, and empty pursuits. Pain also clarified your values. When life hurts, you begin to see what truly matters. Superficial desires fade. External approval loses importance. What remains is simple peace, stability, purpose. You started to value inner calm over external success. You started to prioritize self-respect over popularity. This shift is a sign of maturity. What you survived would have broken a less prepared mind. But you adapted. You learned to regulate your emotions instead of being controlled by them. You learned to pause before reacting. You learned to breathe before speaking. These small changes accumulated into something powerful. You became steady. God does not remove pain from those who are meant to grow. God allows pain to pass through them so they can be shaped by it. Steel is not hardened through comfort. It is hardened through heat. And once hardened, it does not fear pressure. It becomes reliable under stress. If you look honestly at yourself now, you will see it. You are calmer, more grounded, less reactive. You do not panic the way you used to. You do not chase the way you used to. You do not fear uncertainty the way you used to. This is the result of training. Pain also taught you compassion. Because once you have suffered, you recognize suffering in others. You become less judgmental. You listen more. You understand that everyone is fighting something unseen. This depth of understanding cannot be learned from books. It is earned through experience. You are not the same person who entered the storm. You emerged with awareness, control, and resilience. You learned that pain is temporary, but the strength it builds is permanent. You learned that emotions rise and fall, but discipline remains. You learned that you can survive discomfort without losing yourself. This is why pain was not your enemy. It was your instructor. If you had avoided it, you would still be fragile. If life had protected you from it, you would still depend on external stability. Instead, you were trained to create stability within. That is real security. That is real freedom. And this is why the message says congratulations. Not because pain is over, but because you understand it now. You no longer fear it the same way. You respect it. You learn from it. You grow through it. You are no longer running from discomfort. You are standing within it. And that is mastery. Pain shaped you into someone who can handle pressure without losing clarity. Someone who can experience difficulty without surrendering discipline. Someone who can walk forward even when the path is uncertain. This is not punishment. This is preparation. Faith is often misunderstood. Many believe it is a feeling, something emotional that rises when life is easy and disappears when life becomes hard. But true faith is not emotional. It is structural. It is built into the way you live, the way you move, the way you choose again and again to act with intention even when nothing feels rewarding. Faith does not announce itself loudly. It does not demand recognition. It is practiced quietly, daily, through discipline. Discipline is the language through which faith speaks to reality. Anyone can say they believe. Anyone can hope. But belief without action is noise. Faith becomes real only when it shapes behavior. When you wake up and do what must be done despite fatigue. When you choose restraint instead of impulse. When you stay consistent even though results are delayed. These are not habits of convenience. They are acts of faith. You did not always feel strong. You did not always feel inspired. There were days when doubt sat heavily in your mind, when your body felt slow, when progress seemed invisible. And yet, you showed up. Not perfectly, not heroically, but consistently. That consistency is evidence. It proves that your belief was not dependent on emotion. It was rooted in commitment. Discipline teaches you to separate feeling from action. It shows you that you do not need motivation to move forward. Motivation is unstable. It changes with mood, weather, opinion, and outcome. Discipline remains when all of that disappears. And because discipline remains, growth continues even in silence. Faith expressed through discipline does not look dramatic. It looks repetitive. It looks ordinary. It looks like doing the same small actions every day without immediate reward. But repetition is how identity is formed. Every disciplined action reinforces the belief that you are capable of consistency. Over time, this belief becomes unshakable. When you continued even though no one noticed, that was faith. When you held your standards, even though it would have been easier to lower them, that was faith. When you trusted that your effort mattered, even though evidence was delayed, that was faith. You were not waiting for a sign. You were becoming one. Discipline also protected you from your own impulses. It prevented you from reacting emotionally to every challenge. It taught you to pause, to breathe, to choose deliberately rather than automatically. This restraint is a form of belief in something greater than the moment. It is trust that short-term discomfort is acceptable if it serves long-term alignment. Many people abandon discipline when results do not appear quickly. They interpret silence as failure, but silence is often confirmation that the process is still working. Seeds grow underground long before they break the surface. Discipline allows you to keep watering even when nothing is visible. Faith allows you to trust that growth is happening, You learned this through experience, through showing up without applause, through maintaining routines when chaos surrounded you, through choosing responsibility over excuses. These actions trained your mind. They taught it patience. They taught it endurance. They taught it to rely on structure instead of emotion. Discipline also simplified your life. When you commit to consistent behavior, you reduce internal conflict. You no longer debate whether or not to act. You act because it is aligned with who you are becoming. This clarity creates peace. It removes unnecessary decision-making. It frees mental energy. Faith expressed through discipline also means accepting delay without resentment. You stopped demanding immediate outcomes. You understood that mastery requires time, that growth cannot be rushed. This acceptance deepened your trust in the process. You learned to measure progress not by results alone, but by the quality of your effort. There were moments when quitting would have felt justified, moments when no one would have blamed you for stopping. But you continued, not because it was easy, but because you had committed to becoming someone who does not abandon themselves. This commitment is powerful. It builds self-respect. Discipline strengthens faith because it creates proof. Every day you keep your word to yourself, belief grows stronger. You begin to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, external uncertainty loses its power. You no longer need constant reassurance. You become grounded in your own reliability. Faith without discipline remains theoretical. Discipline without faith becomes mechanical. But when combined, they create something stable. Faith gives meaning to discipline. Discipline gives form to faith. Together, they turn intention into reality. You did not need to understand everything to remain disciplined. You did not need certainty to continue. You only needed to stay aligned with your values. And you did, even when tired, even when confused, even when discouraged. That alignment is rare. This is why discipline is respected by life, because it demonstrates readiness. It shows that you can be trusted with responsibility. It proves that you will not collapse when conditions are imperfect. You have shown that you can carry consistency through discomfort. Faith expressed through discipline is quiet strength. It does not seek validation. It does not rush. It does not panic. It moves steadily, confidently, without needing to explain itself. And this kind of faith does not fail easily. You now understand that discipline is not restriction. It is freedom. It frees you from being controlled by impulse, mood, and circumstance. It allows you to act in alignment with your deeper purpose rather than surface emotion. This is why your path has shaped you the way it has. Not to make life harder, but to make you stronger. Not to test your belief, but to deepen it. You were not asked to feel faithful. You were asked to live it. And you did. This is why the message acknowledges you. Because discipline is seen. Because faith expressed through action leaves a mark. Because when you continue without certainty, without applause, without immediate reward, you demonstrate a level of trust that cannot be taught. You trusted the process enough to stay disciplined. And that trust changed you. This is the language of faith. There are moments in life when nothing visible has changed, yet everything inside you feels altered. You wake up on such a day and the world looks the same, but your inner posture is different. Your breath feels slower, your thoughts feel heavier, and your attention feels sharper. This is not coincidence. This is not emotion without reason. This is awareness knocking. When God prepares something big, He does not always change the environment first, He changes the observer. The signal is subtle because what is coming is meaningful. Loud things announce themselves. Important things prepare you quietly. Most people are trained to believe that special days must look special. They expect fireworks, signs in the sky, dramatic events. But the deeper truth is this: when destiny shifts, it begins internally. Before the door opens outwardly, the lock turns inwardly. The soul senses movement before the mind understands it. That is why some days feel heavier, more serious, more alert. The weight you feel is not burden, it is responsibility arriving early. On such a day, distractions feel less attractive. Conversations feel shallow. Noise feels irritating. You may feel an unexplainable urge to be alone, to think, to breathe, to observe. This is not weakness. This is sensitivity. And sensitivity is strength when it is disciplined. A warrior sharpens his senses before battle. A monk stills his breath before insight. When something big approaches your life, your inner system begins to recalibrate itself. Many people fight this feeling. They try to escape it with entertainment, with unnecessary talking, with movement for the sake of movement. They feel uncomfortable being present. They mistake stillness for emptiness. But stillness is not empty. Stillness is full of signals. It is in stillness that you notice what truly matters. It is in stillness that your intuition speaks without being interrupted. When God prepares you for something greater, He first removes your appetite for the trivial. Old habits start to feel heavy. Old patterns start to feel tiring. Things that once excited you now feel repetitive. This is not loss of joy, this is refinement of taste. Just as a child outgrows toys, the soul outgrows distractions. You are not losing something, you are being upgraded. The problem is that many people panic during this phase. They think something is wrong. They think they are stuck. They think life has become dull. In reality, life has become focused. The fog is lifting, and focus always feels uncomfortable to those addicted to noise. Silence feels threatening when you have never listened to yourself. But silence is where clarity lives. A day that feels different is a day asking something from you. Not effort, but presence. Not speed, but awareness. Not reaction, but observation. This is why discipline becomes essential. Discipline is not about forcing productivity. It is about honoring the moment. It is about recognizing that this day is not meant to be wasted in unconscious repetition. When preparation begins, the ego becomes restless. It wants certainty. It wants guarantees. It asks, what exactly is coming? But the soul does not work with details. It works with direction. You are not meant to know the full picture yet, because knowing too early would weaken you. Anticipation can dilute effort. Mystery keeps you sharp. So instead of asking what is coming, ask who you are becoming. Look at your reactions today. Look at how you handle small frustrations. Look at how you treat silence. Look at how you respond when things do not go as planned. These are indicators. Big things do not arrive to test your excitement. They arrive to test your stability. Stability is built before opportunity, not after. If your emotions swing easily, if your focus breaks quickly, if your discipline collapses under minor discomfort, then what is coming would overwhelm you instead of elevate you. This is why preparation feels serious. The soul is training, not celebrating. There is a sacred seriousness to days like this. Not sadness, not fear, but gravity. Like standing at the edge of something meaningful. You feel the importance without knowing the outcome. This feeling is rare, and that is why it must be respected. Not every day carries this weight. Many days are for maintenance. Some days are for movement, and a few days are for alignment. Alignment means your thoughts, actions, and intentions are being quietly adjusted to match a higher path. You may notice that lies feel harder to speak. Laziness feels more uncomfortable. Wasting time feels heavier than effort. This is not pressure from outside. This is integrity rising inside you. Integrity is the foundation of all big things. When people ignore these signals, life often repeats lessons more harshly later. When they listen, life unfolds more smoothly. Listening does not mean stopping your life. It means moving with awareness. It means choosing restraint where you used to choose impulse. It means choosing quality over quantity in everything you do. This day is asking you to slow down without stopping, to move deliberately, to speak less and mean more, to act with intention. When God prepares something big, He watches how you treat small moments, because how you treat the small is how you will treat the great. Notice how you breathe today. Is it shallow or deep? Notice how you walk. Are you rushing or grounded? Notice how you listen. Are you waiting to speak or truly hearing? These details matter today. They are not random. They are reflections of your readiness. Readiness is not confidence. Confidence can be loud and fragile. Readiness is calm and quiet. It does not announce itself. It shows itself through composure. A ready person does not chase validation. They do not seek signs. They trust the process because they can feel the alignment within. When something big is coming, impatience is the greatest enemy. Impatience creates noise. Noise drowns instruction. Instruction is subtle. It comes through intuition, through sudden clarity, through quiet realizations. Miss these, and you delay your own progress. This is why discipline is spiritual. Not because discipline makes you strict, but because discipline makes you receptive. A disciplined mind can hold silence without fear. A disciplined heart can wait without resentment. A disciplined body can remain steady under pressure. Today is not asking you to do more. It is asking you to do less but better. Less distraction, less reaction, less unnecessary movement, more awareness, more precision, more inner order. Understand this deeply. Preparation does not feel like reward. It feels like responsibility. It feels like being asked to rise internally before rising externally. And many people fail here because they only want the visible change. They want the result without the refinement. But life does not work that way. Strength is built before weight is added. Capacity is expanded before overflow arrives. If God placed the blessing before the preparation, it would crush you. So respect this day. Do not treat it like yesterday. Do not numb it. Do not rush through it. Walk through it consciously. Let it shape you. You may not remember this day clearly in the future, but you will live its consequences. One decision today, one moment of restraint, one moment of awareness can redirect years of your life. This is how change actually happens, not in dramatic moments, but in quiet alignments. When the day feels different, it is because you are being invited into a deeper level of yourself. Accept the invitation. Sit with it, move with it, honor it. Because when preparation is complete, the arrival is inevitable. And when it arrives, it will not ask if you are ready. It will assume you are, based on how you lived on days like this. When something big is approaching your life, the first thing God touches is not your circumstances, but your mind. The mind must become quiet enough to receive what cannot be forced. Big things do not survive in noisy spaces. They require room, and room is created through silence, discipline, and restraint. Most people believe that progress comes from doing more, thinking more, planning more. But when a major shift is near, the opposite happens. You are invited to simplify, to reduce, to let go. Because complexity belongs to confusion, not to clarity. A quiet mind is not an empty mind, it is a focused one. It knows where to place attention and where not to waste it. You may notice today that noise feels heavier than usual. Loud conversations drain you faster. Endless scrolling feels pointless. Even your own thoughts may feel intrusive. This is not irritation without cause. This is your inner system asking for silence. Silence is not absence, it is alignment. When God prepares a blessing, He prepares the container first. And the container is your inner state. A restless mind spills what it receives. An anxious heart corrupts what it touches. That is why calmness comes before expansion. Stillness comes before growth. People often ask for more money, more opportunities, more recognition, without realizing that more demands stability. Without stability, more becomes burden. A mind that cannot sit still cannot hold responsibility. A heart that reacts emotionally cannot handle pressure. This is why the quiet mind is not a luxury, it is a requirement. Look carefully at nature. The deepest waters are the calmest. The strongest trees do not grow in storms. They grow slowly in balanced conditions. Power is silent. Strength is controlled. The loudest thing in the room is often the weakest. When your mind becomes quiet, You start to notice truth without distortion. You see situations as they are, not as your fears describe them. You hear intuition clearly, not mixed with anxiety. You respond instead of reacting. This difference changes everything. Today, you are being asked to create inner space, not by running away from life, but by reducing unnecessary engagement. Speak less, especially when words do not add value. Listen more, especially to what is not being said. Breathe deeper. Slow your movements. These are not small acts. These are acts of respect toward what is coming. A quiet mind does not mean a passive life. It means intentional action. It means you do not allow every stimulus to control you. You decide what deserves your energy. This control is mastery. And mastery is the language through which God communicates with the disciplined. Many people fear silence because silence reveals them. In silence, excuses fade. In silence, unresolved thoughts surface. In silence, you meet yourself without distraction. This meeting can be uncomfortable, but it is necessary. You cannot carry something big while avoiding yourself. When silence arrives naturally, do not fight it. Sit with it. Observe your thoughts like passing clouds. Do not follow them. Do not judge them. Let them come and go. This practice trains your mind to remain steady. A steady mind does not panic when pressure comes. It adjusts. Pressure will come with the blessing. Every elevation brings weight. If your mind is noisy, pressure feels like attack. If your mind is quiet, pressure feels like training. The same situation, different inner posture. Notice how impatience decreases when your mind is quiet. You stop rushing outcomes. You stop demanding timelines. You understand that alignment cannot be hurried. What is meant for you will not escape you. This understanding is not belief, it is experience gained through stillness. A quiet mind also sharpens discipline. Discipline is not forcing yourself, it is clarity guiding your actions. When the mind is noisy, discipline feels painful. When the mind is quiet, discipline feels natural. You do what must be done without inner resistance. This is why today may feel slower. This is why urgency may feel misplaced. You are being trained to move correctly, not quickly. Speed without direction leads to exhaustion. Direction without speed leads to mastery. The ego resists quietness because the ego survives on attention. Silence starves it. In silence, you realize how much energy you waste proving, defending, comparing. When these habits fall away, energy returns to you. That energy is needed for what is coming. God does not send big things into distracted lives. Distraction breaks focus. Focus builds power. Power must be handled carefully. That is why quietness arrives first. Observe how your priorities shift today. You may feel drawn to simpler actions. Eating consciously, walking slowly, finishing one task fully instead of starting many. This is refinement. Refinement always precedes expansion. When your mind becomes quiet, fear loses its grip. Fear needs noise to survive. It feeds on imagined futures and replayed pasts. Silence brings you into the present moment, where fear has no ground. And a fearless mind is capable of responsibility. Responsibility is not burden, it is trust. When God trusts you with more, He ensures you can handle it without collapsing. Quietness is the proof of readiness. Do not confuse quietness with weakness. A quiet river cuts through stone. A loud storm passes quickly. What lasts is calm and consistent. Today, if you feel less reactive, less impulsive, less emotionally driven, recognize this as growth. You are not becoming cold, you are becoming centered. Centered people are unshakable. Protect this quietness. Do not fill it unnecessarily. Not every message requires response. Not every opinion requires reaction. Not every thought requires belief. Choose wisely. The quieter your mind becomes, the clearer your path will appear, not as a dramatic revelation, but as a calm knowing. You will simply know what to do next. And that is enough. When the moment arrives, you will not panic. You will not hesitate. You will move with calm precision. That is the power of a quiet mind. This is why today is not normal. It is a day of inner clearing, a day of preparation, a day of making space. Respect the silence. Honor the calm. What is coming needs room. When something meaningful is about to enter your life, it rarely arrives without resistance. This is one of the greatest misunderstandings people carry, that blessings come smoothly, without friction, without challenge. In truth, what is valuable tests you before it elevates you. The test is not meant to stop you. It is meant to measure you. Life does not ask if you desire growth. It asks if you can carry it. As something big approaches, pressure increases. Situations become tighter. People misunderstand you more easily. Old fears resurface. Doubt speaks louder. This is not a sign that you are going the wrong way. This is the final refinement. Fire does not destroy gold, it reveals it. Whatever is weak burns away. Whatever is real remains. Many people collapse at this stage because they interpret resistance as rejection. They think, if this were meant for me, it would be easier. But ease does not build capacity. Ease maintains comfort. Growth requires weight, and weight reveals structure. If the structure is weak, it cracks. If it is strong, it stabilizes. This is why life applies pressure before expansion. Not to punish, but to prepare. Pressure shows you where you are still reactive, still emotional, still undisciplined. It exposes impatience. It exposes entitlement. It exposes the parts of you that want reward without responsibility. The test is subtle. It does not arrive as a single dramatic moment. It appears in daily irritations, in delays, in people who challenge your ego, in situations that do not go according to your expectations. These are not random obstacles. They are mirrors. They reflect your level of mastery. Observe how you respond today when things do not go your way. Do you complain? Do you rush? Do you become defensive? Do you lose discipline? These reactions are the exam. Life is asking, can you remain steady when the ground shifts slightly? Because what is coming will shift it much more. A person who cannot control their emotions under small pressure will be overwhelmed by larger responsibility. That is why emotional discipline is tested before elevation. Calmness is not a personality trait. It is a skill developed under stress. You may feel more tired today, not physically, but mentally. This fatigue comes from resistance within. Part of you is being asked to let go of old patterns, and that part does not want to release control. Change always threatens identity. Even positive change requires the death of a former self. The old version of you is being challenged. Its habits, beliefs, and comforts are no longer sufficient. This is why doubt becomes louder. Doubt is the voice of the old self trying to survive. It says, stay where you are. Do not risk growth. Do not change. But growth does not negotiate. It demands surrender. The test is not about perfection. It is about composure. You are not expected to be fearless. You are expected to be grounded. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to act without being controlled by it. Notice how quickly you recover today. Not whether you fall, but how fast you regain balance. A mature mind does not avoid disturbance. It returns to center quickly. This ability is essential for what is next. Life will deliberately delay things when something big is near. Delay builds patience. Patience strengthens endurance. Endurance creates trust. Trust allows responsibility. Without patience, opportunity becomes anxiety. Without endurance, success becomes exhaustion. People often sabotage themselves at this stage by trying to force outcomes. They push, argue, overthink, and exhaust themselves. Forcing creates tension. Tension blocks flow. What is meant to arrive will not come through force. It will come through alignment. Alignment is tested when you are disappointed but still disciplined. When you are tired but still composed. When you are uncertain but still grounded. These moments define readiness. Another test appears through temptation. Old habits resurface strongly. Distractions seem attractive again. This is not coincidence. This is life checking if you will regress under pressure. Growth requires consistency, not intensity. One disciplined day after another builds strength. One impulsive decision can undo weeks of progress. The test also appears in silence from the outside world. You may receive less validation, less encouragement, less reassurance. This is intentional. If you depend on external confirmation, you will be unstable when responsibility isolates you. Leaders are often alone. Those who carry big roles must be internally anchored. So life asks, can you stand without applause? Can you continue without reassurance? Can you trust your path without constant signs? If you can, you are being prepared for something that cannot be carried by insecurity. Challenges before elevation are not meant to be dramatic. They are meant to be revealing. They reveal whether your discipline is real or borrowed, whether your calmness is practiced or accidental, whether your faith is stable or conditional. Do not try to escape this test. Do not numb it. Do not rush through it. Meet it consciously. Each moment of restraint strengthens you. Each moment of composure builds inner authority. Inner authority is the ability to govern yourself. Without it, no external authority can be sustained. Power without self-control is destructive. Opportunity without discipline is dangerous. That is why life insists on testing first. You may feel misunderstood today. This is part of the test. When something big is coming, your frequency changes. People operating at your old level may no longer resonate with you. Misunderstanding is not rejection, it is transition. Do not explain yourself unnecessarily. Do not defend your growth. Walk quietly. Let your consistency speak. Those meant to understand will catch up later. The test also measures humility. As you grow stronger, ego may attempt to rise. Ego seeks superiority. Growth requires simplicity. The higher you rise, the lighter you must become. Arrogance adds weight. Humility creates balance. If pride appears, notice it. Do not fight it aggressively. Acknowledge it and return to discipline. True strength does not need display. Life tests whether you can remain teachable, even when you feel capable. Teachability keeps you adaptable. Adaptability keeps you relevant. Relevance sustains growth. Another aspect of the test is emotional containment. Big things bring strong emotions: excitement, fear, pressure, expectation. If emotions overflow, clarity is lost. You are being trained to feel deeply without acting impulsively. This balance is rare and valuable. Do not seek comfort today. Seek steadiness. Comfort weakens alertness. Steadiness strengthens presence. Remember, elevation does not begin when circumstances change. It begins when your reactions change. When situations that once controlled you no longer do. When triggers lose their power. When silence no longer scares you. This is how you know the test is working. Life does not test to fail you. It tests to finalize you. The final shaping happens under pressure. What cracks was never meant to be carried forward. What remains becomes your foundation. So today, if things feel heavier, slower, more demanding, do not complain. This is not punishment. This is preparation. Stand firm, respond. Do not react, observe, do not panic. Continue, do not retreat. Because once the test is complete, the elevation will feel natural. And when it arrives, you will not be surprised. You will recognize it as the result of how you stood your ground when it mattered most. If God said congratulations, it is not because the world suddenly became kind to you. It is because you walked through something that was designed to stop you, and you did not disappear. Most victories in life are invisible. No applause follows endurance. No crowd gathers when you choose patience over reaction, discipline over comfort, silence over complaint. Yet these are the moments that shape a human being. Congratulations is not spoken to the loud, the lucky, or the praised. It is spoken to the one who stayed when leaving would have been easier, to the one who endured when collapsing would have been understandable. You must understand this clearly. Life is constantly testing you, but the tests rarely look like tests. They look like delays, disappointments, unfair treatment, loneliness, confusion, and exhaustion. They look like days where nothing makes sense and nights where the mind becomes heavy. In those moments, nobody tells you that you are being evaluated. There is no warning. There is no countdown. There is only a choice. Will you remain aligned, or will you abandon yourself? Most people fail not because they are weak, but because they are unaware. They think the pain is meaningless, so they waste it. But nothing is wasted in life. Everything is observed. In the Shaolin way, the student is never told when the test begins. The master watches how you sweep the floor, how you stand when tired, how you react when corrected, how you breathe when frustrated. The real test is not strength. It is character under pressure. Anyone can perform when conditions are perfect. Few can remain grounded when everything is uncertain. This is why congratulations carries weight. It means something has been seen. It means something has been measured. You may not even realize how close you came to giving up. Often the most dangerous moments do not feel dramatic. They feel quiet. They feel like numbness. They feel like asking yourself, what is the point? These moments are more decisive than any visible struggle. When anger comes, at least there is energy. When sadness comes, at least there is feeling. But when emptiness comes, that is the edge. If you stayed disciplined there, if you kept moving even without motivation, then you passed something most people never notice. God does not congratulate effort that is loud. He congratulates resilience that is silent. He congratulates the days you showed up without being seen, the nights you held yourself together without support, the moments you chose restraint when retaliation felt justified. The world rewards outcomes. Life rewards alignment. You may not have received recognition, but recognition was never the point. The test was whether you could remain whole while being stretched. You must stop underestimating what you survived. You think strength looks like domination, but true strength looks like stability. It looks like staying calm when chaos tries to enter your nervous system. It looks like keeping your word when nobody is watching. It looks like holding your posture when your mind is shaking. These things build something inside you that cannot be taken away. That is why congratulations comes now, not earlier. Earlier, you were still becoming. Now, something has solidified. Passing an invisible test does not mean life will become easier. It means life will become more precise. The margin for unconscious behavior becomes smaller. You cannot move the same way anymore. The tolerance for self-betrayal decreases. This is why some people feel pressure after growth instead of relief. They mistake pressure for punishment, but it is actually responsibility. When you know better, you are expected to live better. Congratulations is not permission to relax. It is confirmation that you are capable of more. Think about this carefully. If you had failed, you would not feel this moment. You would not be here listening. You would be distracted, numbing yourself, repeating cycles without awareness. Awareness itself is proof of passage. The fact that you can reflect, that you can feel the weight of time, that you sense something important is happening, means your inner eye is opening. That opening only happens after pressure. Comfort does not awaken humans. Resistance does. You were tested in ways that forced you to meet yourself. Not the image you present to others, but the version that appears when nothing is working. The one who doubts, who fears, who wants certainty before commitment. The test was whether you would let that voice take control. Discipline is not the absence of fear. It is action in the presence of fear. Faith is not certainty. It is movement without guarantees. You did not need to feel strong. You only needed to stay. Congratulations means you stayed. It means when the mind created stories of failure, you did not fully identify with them. It means when emotions tried to dictate behavior, you paused. Even if you stumbled, you returned. Returning is more important than never falling. In Shaolin practice, falling is expected. What is observed is how quickly you regain your stance. Life knocked you off balance, and you learn to adjust instead of collapse. That is mastery in its earliest form. Most people want transformation without discomfort. They want elevation without confrontation. But life does not work that way. Before something rises, it is compressed. Before clarity appears, confusion intensifies. The invisible test always comes before visible change. That is why many quit right before the shift. They interpret pressure as a sign to stop, when it is actually a signal to refine. You did not quit. That is why congratulations is deserved. Do not romanticize what you went through, but do not dismiss it either. Pain is not noble, but endurance is meaningful. You were shaped, not broken. And now, the structure inside you is different. You may still feel tired. You may still feel uncertain. That does not mean the test failed. Fatigue often follows deep adaptation. Muscles ache after growth. The mind needs time to recognize its new capacity. Understand this deeply. Life will not explain itself to you. It will not announce milestones. It will not validate your suffering with clear answers. The only confirmation comes through inner stability. If you feel less reactive, more grounded, more aware of your choices, then something has changed. Congratulations is simply acknowledging that change. Now comes the important part. Passing the test does not mean you are finished. It means you are trusted. Trusted with more influence over your own life. Trusted with deeper lessons. Trusted with sharper consequences. This is why awareness must increase. You cannot afford unconscious habits anymore. What once passed unnoticed will now cost you energy. What once felt harmless will now feel heavy. This is not punishment. It is refinement. You are entering a phase where intention matters more. Your thoughts carry more momentum. Your actions create faster results. This is why discipline becomes essential. Without discipline, growth turns into chaos. With discipline, growth becomes direction. God congratulates you because you have shown you can carry this weight. But carrying weight requires posture. If posture is lost, the same weight becomes injury. So stand correctly. Not physically only, but mentally. Align your values with your actions. Reduce unnecessary noise. Protect your energy. Do not explain yourself excessively. Do not seek validation for what you already know. The test you passed was internal. The life you build next must be intentional. Remember, congratulations is not emotional. It is precise. It is given when readiness is demonstrated, not when perfection is achieved. You are still a student. But now, you are a student who has proven commitment. That changes everything. You did not pass because you were special. You passed because you were consistent when it was difficult. That means this strength is repeatable. It is not luck. It is character. And character, once built, becomes a foundation that life itself respects. If nobody else sees what you survived, that is fine. If nobody applauds your restraint, that is fine. The universe does not operate on noise. It operates on truth. And the truth is this: you endured, you learned, and you stayed aligned long enough for something inside you to mature. That is why the message is simple and heavy at the same time. Congratulations. Not because the journey is over, but because you are no longer the same person who started it. Tomorrow being critical does not mean it demands more noise from you. It demands less. Most people misunderstand important moments because they think significance is proven through action, words, announcements, or visible change. They think a powerful day requires a powerful display. But in disciplined traditions, especially in the Shaolin way, the most important moments are approached with restraint. When something truly matters, you slow down. You become precise. You reduce excess, because excess is where mistakes are born. A critical day is not a stage. It is a mirror. It reflects how aligned you really are inside. Inner alignment means your thoughts, emotions, and actions move in the same direction. Most humans live divided. They think one thing, feel another, and do something completely different. This division drains energy. It creates inner conflict, and inner conflict weakens discipline. On days that carry weight, this division becomes dangerous. That is why silence is required. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is order. When you remove noise, you begin to hear what actually guides you. Noise is not only sound, Noise is unnecessary conversations, emotional reactions, mental overthinking, comparison, impulsive decisions, and external validation. On a critical day, every piece of noise pulls you away from your center. And when you are not centered, you are easy to influence, easy to provoke, easy to distract, easy to misalign. Shi Heng Yi often reminds that before you try to control the world, you must first control yourself. Control does not mean suppression. It means awareness with direction. On a day that matters, awareness must be sharp, not emotional, not rushed, sharp, like a blade that does not swing wildly but cuts exactly where intended. Many people wake up on important days and immediately consume information. Messages, opinions, news, social media, expectations. They fill their mind before they have even met themselves. This is a mistake. When you do this, you allow the external world to decide your internal state. Alignment requires the opposite. You must meet yourself first. You must decide who you are before the world tries to tell you. Inner alignment begins with posture. Not only physical posture, but mental posture. How you hold yourself when nobody is watching. How you breathe when nothing exciting is happening. How you treat ordinary moments. Critical days are not about extraordinary behavior. They are about extraordinary consistency in ordinary behavior. If you cannot be aligned in the small moments, you will not suddenly become aligned in the big ones. This is why discipline is quiet. It does not announce itself. It does not argue. It does not seek agreement. It simply does what must be done. On a critical day, discipline protects you from emotional decision-making. Emotions are not enemies, but they are poor leaders. They react to the present moment without understanding the long path. Alignment means emotions are acknowledged, but not obeyed blindly. You may feel excitement tomorrow. You may feel fear. You may feel pressure. None of these feelings are wrong. What matters is what you do with them. If excitement makes you reckless, alignment is lost. If fear makes you hesitate, alignment is lost. If pressure makes you rush, alignment is lost. Alignment means you remain steady regardless of internal weather. Think of a martial artist before a decisive movement. There is no unnecessary motion, no wasted breath, no dramatic expression. Everything is contained. This containment is not weakness. It is readiness. Power without control is chaos. Control without awareness is rigidity. Alignment is where power and control meet. On critical days, people often try to change too much at once. They set extreme goals, make loud promises, and demand instant transformation. This is ego disguised as motivation. True alignment respects timing. It understands that deep change is gradual and rooted. A tree does not grow faster because you shout at it. It grows because the conditions are correct. God does not ask for performance. He asks for sincerity. Sincerity is alignment between intention and action. If your intention is discipline, your actions must reflect discipline. If your intention is clarity, your actions must reduce confusion. If your intention is growth, your actions must accept discomfort. Anything else is self-deception. Noise is often used to avoid responsibility. When the mind is loud, you can pretend not to hear the truth. When life is busy, you can delay facing yourself. But critical days remove this escape. They ask you to stand still long enough to see where you are actually going. This is uncomfortable for many people. They would rather move incorrectly than pause and realign. Alignment requires courage. The courage to disappoint others. The courage to say no. The courage to be misunderstood. When you stop making noise, people may question you. When you stop explaining yourself, people may project their fears onto you. This is part of the test. Can you remain aligned without external approval? Shi Heng Yi teaches that freedom is not the ability to do whatever you want. Freedom is the ability to choose what is right, even when it is difficult. On critical days, freedom is tested. Do you choose comfort or discipline? Do you choose distraction or presence? Do you choose reaction or response? A critical day magnifies consequences. Small misalignments feel heavier. Small disciplined actions feel more powerful. This is not superstition. It is focus. When awareness is high, cause and effect become visible. When awareness is low, life feels random. Alignment sharpens cause and effect. It shows you clearly that how you move matters. This is why you must treat tomorrow with respect, not excitement. Respect creates steadiness. Excitement creates instability. Respect slows you down enough to move correctly. Respect reminds you that you are part of something larger than impulse. Alignment also means letting go of what does not serve the direction you are walking. You cannot carry everything forward. Some habits, relationships, and self-images belong to an earlier version of you. Critical days make this obvious. If you ignore it, friction increases. If you accept it, movement becomes smoother. Silence on a critical day is not empty. It is full of intention. It is full of listening. Listening to your body. Listening to your breath. Listening to the subtle signals that are drowned out on ordinary days. When you listen, you adjust. When you adjust, you align. Do not confuse alignment with perfection. You will still make mistakes. You will still feel uncertain. Alignment is not about eliminating errors. It is about correcting them quickly. It is about not lying to yourself. It is about noticing when you drift and gently returning. Most people think alignment is something you feel. It is not. It is something you practice. Feelings come and go. Alignment is built through repeated choices. On a critical day, those choices matter more because they set the tone for what follows. If you wake up tomorrow and immediately rush, you teach your nervous system that urgency leads. If you wake up and breathe before acting, you teach your nervous system that awareness leads. This difference compounds. Life responds to posture. When you move with alignment, obstacles become instructions instead of enemies. God congratulates those who can be quiet under pressure. Because quiet under pressure means control. Control means trust. Trust means readiness. Tomorrow does not need you to be impressive. It needs you to be present. It needs you to be honest with yourself. It needs you to choose alignment even when nobody is watching. When you do that, the day fulfills its purpose. Not because something dramatic happens outside, but because something settles inside. And once something settles inside, the outside eventually follows. When congratulations comes from God, it is often misunderstood as comfort. People hear it as permission to relax, to slow down, to finally stop carrying weight. But in reality, divine congratulations is closer to a warning than a reward. It is not spoken at the end of responsibility. It is spoken at the moment responsibility increases. This is difficult for many to accept because the human mind seeks relief after struggle. But life does not operate on emotional contracts. It operates on readiness. In disciplined paths, acknowledgement is never the signal to rest. It is the signal that the next level has begun. When you are congratulated, it means something has been entrusted to you. Trust is not given lightly. It is given when your capacity has been observed and measured. But trust always comes with expectation. This is why people sometimes feel heavier after progress instead of lighter. They think something is wrong, but nothing is wrong. They have simply stepped into a space where their actions matter more. A warning does not mean danger in the sense of punishment. It means awareness is required. When a mountain climber reaches a higher altitude, the view is clearer, but the air is thinner. Every movement must be calculated. The same is true here. As your awareness increases, mistakes cost more energy. What you could once do unconsciously now demands intention. This is not cruelty, it is refinement. God congratulates you because you have shown that you can carry consequence. Consequence is not always negative. It is simply the law that actions now echo further. Your words influence more. Your habits shape you faster. Your inner state affects your outer reality more directly. This is why unconscious living becomes dangerous after growth. What once felt harmless now creates friction. What once passed unnoticed now drains you. Many people sabotage themselves at this stage because they misread the message. They think congratulations means the work is done, so discipline loosens, structure dissolves, old habits return. When that happens, life responds quickly and sharply, not out of anger, but out of precision. The higher the level, the clearer the feedback. This is where the warning aspect appears, not as a threat, but as a truth. You are no longer allowed to be careless with yourself. In the Shaolin tradition, when a student proves stability, the master does not reduce training. He increases it, not to punish, but to protect the student from stagnation. Stagnation at a higher level is more destructive than struggle at a lower one. When capacity grows, challenge must grow with it. Otherwise, energy turns inward and becomes frustration, ego, or confusion. Congratulations also means your excuses are becoming less valid. Earlier, ignorance could protect you. Uncertainty could justify hesitation. Now, awareness removes those shelters. You see more clearly, and seeing clearly demands action. To see and not act creates inner conflict. This conflict is felt as discomfort, anxiety, or restlessness. People often think something is wrong with them, but the truth is simpler alignment is being demanded. This is why congratulations feels heavy. It asks you to rise to what you already know. It removes the comfort of pretending you are not ready. You are ready. And readiness is a responsibility. The warning is also about ego. Growth can be intoxicating. Awareness can feel superior. Discipline can become identity. This is dangerous. The moment you believe you have arrived, you stop listening. The moment you stop listening, you begin to fall. Congratulations is not confirmation of arrival. It is confirmation of direction. Direction must still be walked. God does not warn with fear. He warns with clarity. The clarity is this: the margin for self-deception is shrinking. You cannot lie to yourself as easily anymore. When you do something misaligned, you will feel it immediately. The body will react. The mind will resist. The environment will reflect it. This is not punishment. It is guidance becoming sharper. Responsibility also means stewardship of energy. You cannot waste your time the same way. You cannot entertain unnecessary drama. You cannot overindulge and expect no consequences. Your system has been tuned. Like a refined instrument, it produces discord quickly when played incorrectly. This sensitivity is not weakness. It is precision. Some people fear this stage because they think it means constant seriousness. It does not. It means conscious living. Joy does not disappear. It becomes cleaner. Laughter becomes lighter. Rest becomes deeper. But indulgence loses its appeal. Chaos becomes uncomfortable. You begin to crave order not because you are forced to, but because it feels right. The warning also extends to how you treat others. Influence increases with awareness. Even silence influences. Even posture influences. You may not realize it, but people observe stability. They sense presence. When you are aligned, your behavior gives permission to others to either rise or resist. This means your responsibility is not only personal, it is relational. But this does not mean you must teach or lead explicitly. Leadership begins with embodiment. How you show up sets a tone. How you handle pressure teaches more than words ever could. Congratulations means your life is becoming a message, whether you intend it or not. This is why discipline must remain non-negotiable. Discipline is not restriction. It is protection. It protects you from impulsive decisions that no longer match your level. It protects you from ego-driven actions that create unnecessary suffering. It protects you from drifting back into patterns that once felt normal but now feel heavy. The warning is gentle but firm. Do not go backward unconsciously. If you choose to rest, rest consciously. If you choose to enjoy, enjoy consciously. If you choose to slow down with intention. Unconscious regression is what creates pain. Congratulations also means that guidance will become subtler. Earlier lessons may have come through strong events. Now, lessons come through small discomforts, inner signals, quiet resistance. You must pay attention. The volume decreases as sensitivity increases. Those who do not listen think they are being ignored. In truth, they are being spoken to softly. This is where many people feel lost. They expect signs to be dramatic. They expect direction to be obvious. But higher levels require listening between the lines. They require stillness. They require humility. If you can remain humble while being capable, you will move correctly. The warning is not meant to scare you. It is meant to prepare you. Preparedness reduces fear. Awareness reduces confusion. Responsibility reduces chaos. When you accept the weight instead of resisting it, it becomes stability. God congratulates you because you are now standing in a place where your choices shape your future more directly. This is power, but power without responsibility destroys. Power with responsibility builds. So do not treat congratulations lightly. Do not rush to celebrate. Do not assume comfort. Bow inwardly. Acknowledge the trust. Strengthen your discipline. Refine your intentions. Simplify your life where possible. Because from this point forward, life will respond faster. And the one who benefits most from that speed is the one who remains aligned. That is the warning hidden inside the blessing. And if you can accept it, it becomes protection instead of pressure.